Okay, so I am making this video to document my experiment on these plants here with bleach and see how they interact. So you can see, I have some scallions here. I'm just gonna see how they interact with the bleach. I've done this experiment before, and it wasn't quite as interesting as I thought. I thought it was gonna be a little more fascinating, but I just wanted to do it again for you guys to see, so you can see, how it interacts. For those who don't know. I'm not a chemist or anything, but the bleach is effectively, it's really just water with like some kind of sodium or salt, and then they run electricity through it. Not super fascinating, but then basically once you combine it with anything, especially something like a plant, it basically starts breaking down into its component parts, which means that you'll probably, I'm going to anticipate that there's going to be some salt that'll start building up over the next couple days, next couple weeks, etc. And so what I'm going to do is just show you guys to make it a little interesting for myself, since I've done it before. I have two different versions of this. I'm going to run this one, which is a just a regular one where it's going to be out in the open and get new carbon dioxide and everything, and then I have this other one that I'm going to actually close it and see kind of how it operates if it's closed and it doesn't get a new infusion of carbon dioxide. As you can see, I have this glass box here, and that's really just to for this experiment it's mostly to contain the smell, but for any future experiments I do, it's effectively just going to be to keep kind of little fruit flies and everything out of the plants, because I really don't want those interacting with my experiments. Let me get this set up. All right, so this should be pretty straightforward. So I'm going to take this longer one here, and I'm going to put it in here. That's where this one is effectively assigned. And then I am going to take this smaller one here, put it in here so it can stand up and everything, so you can see. And then all I'm going to do is take some bleach here, put it in there, and then fill it up a good little amount. And then this other one, I don't want it to be completely drowned, but it looks like I put a little more than I wanted, but I think that's going to be okay. And then upstairs I have a time-lapse camera, so I'm just going to set that up so we can kind of see it. I think I put too much. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably adjust this one so there's a little less bleach in there. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to do that off camera. Once I'm done with that, I'll set it upstairs, and it's time-lapse. And then what I have is a camera that takes a photo every hour, so then we can track and kind of see what ends up happening. And then once everything's done, assuming there's something left of the plants, there might not be, what I'll do is I'll do kind of an autopsy for you guys, so you can see what kind of impact it had on the plants. So I will see you guys in a couple of weeks. Okay, so it has been a little over 2 weeks, and you can see there's been a lot of changes to the plants that we used. One thing I'd like to point out is that all the brown stuff in the water there, it seems I made a mistake, and it looks like the paper clip, some kind of coating on the paper clip kind of eroded, and that's what all that brown stuff is. I'm guessing I guess that's just what happens when metal hits bleach. Again, I'm not a chemist or anything like that, so I'm just finding out this stuff along with a lot of other people. But I just want to take a look at these plants and see kind of what happened, maybe to the inside, see if anything interesting happened that we can take note of. So what I'm going to do is take this guy out here. so you can see it. Let's let it focus a bit. Yeah, it's really like jelly. I can't really explain it that much. It's like a really jelly. Oh, looks like it like got squeezed out there. Wasn't expecting that, but yeah, it feels like a jelly, which is a little weird. It doesn't feel anything like what it was when it went in, or what a normal green onion looks like. So that's actually pretty surprising to me. I also want to point out I was kind of wrong. I thought the salt within the bleach would kind of line the rim a little bit, and it doesn't look like it did that. But on the bottled one, it's hard to see, but it does look like there's a little bit of salt kind of on the rim, and I'll show that a little better in a second. But it looks like that one kind of did, but there wasn't a whole lot that happened with that one. So that one's not as interesting as this one here. That looks like it's really jelly. So that's what we're left with. Oh, it fell off. Okay. I have to do a lot of cleaning. My wife's probably going to kill me. But yeah, what I'm going to do is, I don't know if you can see it. Let me tilt the camera down. Let's see here. Okay. I'm just going to cut it in half and see if I can. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like jelly stuff there. It's actually really interesting. Looks like some of the, I guess, plant matter kind of came out, which is definitely fascinating to me. I wasn't really expecting that. If I can get a good grip on it, I will cut it in half. We'll see what we're looking at. Okay. Okay, yeah, nothing really all that interesting. You can see the inside there. Yeah, it looks like the metal kind of, the eroded metal, the rusted metal kind of got in there a little bit and turned it. Well, I don't know if that's just from me getting it all over with my gloves. Maybe that's part of it. But yeah, it still feels really jelly, which is interesting. That's not something I was expecting. So that one's a little interesting, but yeah, you can see kind of. It almost looks like a gristle off of chicken or something. And then we've got this piece, which is kind of the shell. It looks like that completely came off. So now let me open this other one. Okay. And this one, I'm just going to pour it out. Just have to clean it up. Let's see how this one looks. Yeah, so now I'm getting metal on it, or the rusted metal that kind of came off on the gloves. Now that's getting in it, but yeah, it's jelly. It's not as jelly as the other one. Wasn't as interesting, I'm guessing, because probably because the carbon dioxide that plants use probably couldn't get in there. But you can kind of see the. Let me see if I can get it in focus. Yeah, there's like little roots of it, just a little bit. They're really small. Looks like it didn't do too much. And then the inside, it looks like that's a little weird and interesting. I like to see kind of what's going on in there. I'm going to move these off to the side. And let's see what this one is. It's kind of jelly. It's definitely more jelly than when it went in. Whoops. Hopefully this metal isn't destroying it. Let's see. Okay, yeah, you can kind of see the individual plant fibers. It's actually kind of interesting. Not a whole lot more. It is kind of jellyish, and you can see. Hopefully, you can kind of see what. It's kind of hard to see, but it is kind of jelly. Not as jelly as what I was thinking it was going to be. But yeah, that's what you're left with. So that's now we kind of know what happens when you leave plants within bleach. These plants are probably dead, but just to be sure, I've got this little thing here, this little jar here with a little bit of soil in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw those in there. They're probably dead, so nothing will happen. But this is the kind of the second chance for these kind of plants. So then that way, you know, if anything different happens, if there's any weird mutations, I can at least see them going forward. What I'll do is I'll probably put them in there and then put a little bit of soil at the top and water them a bit. I don't really expect anything to happen. They're probably dead. So if anything does happen, I'll let you guys know. But other than that, it looks like that's what happens when you give bleach to a plant for a long period of time. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. All right, talk to you later.